there comes a point in our journey where we think, what's next? What's beyond where I'm currently at? And I feel like this happens when we're in a place where we can really be present with ourselves, where we can really feel everything that's coming through and process it as it's coming, and really sit in that everything is empowering us, everything is working for us. And you come to that understanding when you've been through enough karmic cycles, and in those karmic cycles you've been in the observer space, in the second position space, where you can see what's going on and you can see the beliefs that are underneath it. And instead of resisting it or trying to push away the feelings that are coming up, you're actually processing the fact that you've been creating these karmic cycles over and over again, that you've been creating these similar circumstances and events to come to you. Why? So that you can expand, so that you can release them, so that you can be aware of them, so that you can move beyond them, and so that you can learn from them, so you can help others, so you can be compassionate when somebody else is going through that same cycle of life. And this can show up in so many ways. It can show up as, the similar kind of relationship that happens over and over again. I see that a lot, where, people just continue to get into relationships that don't feel satisfying, that don't serve, that end up, fracturing off in some way. And they just doesn't feel like a good match. Or it can happen in work, where you feel like you're not finding your flow, you're not finding the right space for you or the right place for you. This is what I would call a karmic cycle. And within these, there's always a learning, there's always a growth component to it. There's always something that you can understand that will further you into your next layer of evolution, so to speak. And when you stop resisting them, when you stop thinking, oh, I've done something wrong to attract this, and you start thinking, oh, what have I done to attract this? What can I learn from this? What is going to be the jewel in this challenge or this situation? And when you've kind of been through several of these and you really understand, like, okay, this is actually empowering me. This is actually moving me to different spaces and places once I've become really aware of what's going on and what's happening. And I'm able to be present with the negative emotions that I've been creating and that have been showing up in my body. And I'm able just to create space for them and become bigger around them. Then something really beautiful happens. And I feel like this beautiful thing is the question of what's next. What's next in my evolution? Where am I headed? Where am I going? What's the next version of me that is beyond these particular cycles that I've been experiencing? And I was talking to a client yesterday about tuning into the embodiment of that and tuning in to the creation of that, which is so fun, because when you're in that space, you can actually be in a space of all possibilities, because the past is in the past where it should be, not in the future. So you don't want to experience them again. And so the past is in the past, you're in the present, and in the present there's like this opening of, wow, anything's possible right now. And again, you only get to that place when you're able to be with what has already happened and what is already coming to you, and to learn from it, to grow from it, to accept it, to create space for it. And so there you are in the space of all possibilities. So what do you do there? So, and I've also noticed that with my clients, this happens at a particular stage in the development of these skills, being present, creating an empowering context, moving into the second position. I've done videos on all of these to talk about them in more detail. But when you get to that place where those skills are pretty much embedded, then there's the creation space that naturally opens up. A lot of times we try to push ourselves into the creation space. We try to push ourselves in because we're not okay with what's showing up. We need things to be different. It's not like we want to create something new. We need to create something new, and we're not okay with it. And so that's not really the creation space. That's like a pushing, a shoving, a trying, an efforting, and it doesn't feel good. And usually when people are in that space and they're trying to create, they get stuck. And they're like, why am I getting stuck at this same spot over and over again? Why can't I create the abundance, or why can't I create the relationship I want? Well, it's because usually they're not aware of what they're doing to create the opposite of that. They're not aware of the belief systems and all that stuff. So that comes first. That awareness comes first. Then when you're moving through and you're transforming, and you get to a place where you're really just like in this empty open space and you don't know what's next because you've completed your karmic cycles from the past, and you know that they're not coming back. There's just a knowing inside of you. So that beautiful space is a very delicate space of creation. And I say delicate because it's so easy to go back to, I need to move forward, or I need things to be different. But if you really stay in that place of that sweet present moment space and just tune into the you that you perceive to be the next version of you, and that can come through in a lot of different ways, but you can tune to it through emotion. You can tune to it through feelings of satisfaction, feelings of wholeness, peace, love, freedom, expansion. So whatever feelings you resonate with, you can start creating this open channel through those vibratory frequencies for the universe to deliver to you the next little bits of information that it can share with you, to continue to open you up into that vibratory space. And the more you maintain your presence and focus in that vibratory space, the more you become the version of you that has it all. Like when I think about abundance, I think of the version of me that has it all, that has the relationships, that has the well-being, that has the passionate work, that has it all, that feels satisfied in life, that feels complete, even in the growth and the expansion, and even in the challenges, and even in the ups and downs. So you can start to perceive the edges of that persona. This tree is like rotting. You can start to perceive the edges of that persona coming in as these really sweet feeling emotions. And so in that delicate space, you can tune into these really sweet feeling emotions and open that channel. When you open that channel, things go from general to specific, like Abraham talks about. So it's like you're feeling satisfaction, you're feeling peace, you're feeling wellness, you're feeling wholeness, and then it gets more specific. Do this, call this person, go to this place, take this action. And so it just continues to develop and it continues to open up. And as you continue to feel into that space, you embody the new you, the future you, the new version of you that has always been there, but it's been waiting for you to move through some of the understandings that you get when you move through your karmic cycles. So I hope this has been helpful for you on your journey. Would love to hear any insights, revelations, questions, or openings around this video. Sending you guys blessings.